We just moved from daylight saving time back to normal time last weekend, and the time change seems to have brought the winter much closer. The evenings are darker, and at the same time the weather has taken a cold spell. It seems like we might even be getting some snow pretty soon. Here in Finland, November is often considered the dreariest month of the year. That's because it's often cloudy, it's grey, it might be even raining a lot. And because the amount of daylight is much smaller, it seems very dark because there's usually not any snow yet. It often seems that November is just this continuation of muddy, grey, dreary days that keep repeating one after another. But this year I have decided to embrace this dark season. After all, there's no point in missing summer or waiting for the next spring. There's so much beauty around me even now, even though the nature is kind of muted at the time. And I can make the most of this. I can see the small beautiful things around me right now. So here are my 5 tips on how you can prepare for winter and enjoy this dark season the best you can. My first tip is about using artificial light as much as you can. Here in Finland we have these lamps, bright light lamps or light therapy lamps. They are very common, and I believe that they are used elsewhere in the northern hemisphere as well. These light therapy lamps can help you relieve the symptoms of not getting much daylight. Those symptoms can include low energy levels, tiredness. And I have one of those lamps, but I also like to make my home as cozy as possible with other kind of artificial light, such as string lights, burning candles. The thing about candles is that I'm very forgetful. I could easily light some candles and then forget them. So that's why I don't use real candles very often. It's only when we're like having a special dinner and we're all sitting at the table, then I feel it's safe to actually light candles. And we also have a cat, which means that I couldn't leave those candles unattended anyway. But luckily there are these artificial candles that are operated by batteries, and I think they are a very good substitute for creating a cozy atmosphere without actually having the risk of a fire hazard. And I think, like, instead of lamenting how dark it is, we could just realize that we wouldn't have the enjoyment or joy that we get from those string lights or other artificial lights if it was bright all the time. So that's something to think about. My second tip is being inspired by the colors of nature, even when there's not much color in nature. What I mean is, when I go outside, I look at the different shades of brown and gray, and they might seem dull at first, but then I think about my knitting and all the projects that I want to make. And recently I have been drawn to these earthy colors, like I said, brown and gray, and it just feels I feel so much closer to nature when I wear those colors. And I understand that not everybody wants to wear brown, but and I used to be one of those people who preferred colorful clothes, but now for some reason, I don't know what's happened to me, but now I always choose a color like this for my knitting projects. So I go outside and I look at the forest green, and maybe there are even some spots of color, like the last leaves on trees. Some really nice yellows and reds. But even those colorful spots, they seem more visible when the rest of the landscape is not that colorful. Right now I'm knitting these socks, these colorwork socks that have all the nicest autumn colors. I think this is like the forest green, and then there's like a few spots of orange, and then there's this muddy brown part. I like the combination. Number 3. In winter and in autumn, you have finally time to rest after maybe spending the summer in the garden or going from one event to another. Especially, I don't know if it's the same in other countries, but here in Finland, because the summer is so short, there's so much going on in the summer. Like every weekend is full of events and festivals, and you want to attend all of them because you know that like the summer is so short. And for me it's always a bit of a relief when autumn comes and winter comes, and then I know that I can just rest, I can just enjoy not doing so much all the time, taking it easy, slowing down a bit. I'm happy to live in a place where we have 4 seasons, so every season is a bit different. And whereas in the summer there's time for action, in winter it's kind of like we're hibernating and gathering energy for next spring. Tip 4. I like to think of this time as a chance to prepare special surprises for myself, to show myself some self-love, to remind myself how important I am. And I'm doing this by buying myself small surprises, such as maybe a food product, something that I haven't tried before, something special like jam, or maybe some good quality olives, or something that's not usual for my everyday life. And those small gifts for myself can feel so special and can bring me so much joy. It can be a cosmetics product that you haven't tried before. It could be even just a bar of soap if you're the kind of person who likes to use them. Something that smells nice. I'm not telling you to buy products, because it's not like I don't believe in just buying more stuff, but I'm talking about something that you can consume so that you don't leave waste. Or maybe it could be an experience, like taking yourself to a museum where you have never been before, or maybe preparing a bath for yourself, or even a food bath if an actual bath is not a possibility for you. Tip number 5. Exercise. This is something extremely important. I always feel that exercising brings my energy levels up, and whatever kind of exercise is good, but for me going outside when there's daylight is really important. Just admiring the nature as it is at the moment, accepting it as it is, that makes me enjoy this time of year a lot more. And even just a 15-minute walk can make a difference. It doesn't have to be something big. And because I mostly work from home, I have the opportunity to just go outside whenever I see a glimpse of the sun. Like today, it's been really sunny, luckily. I can just go outside, but for like some days the sun might shine only for maybe 10 minutes or even less, and then it's great to have the flexibility to just go outside for a while when the sun happens to be out. Do you live in the northern hemisphere? Do you have some tips for me that I could benefit from? how do you make the most of the dark season and how do you prepare for winter? Do you even feel that the darkness is something that you need to battle or find ways to cope with? Or is it just easy for you? Do you even enjoy the darkness? Thank you for watching. Remember to take care of yourself. See you in the next video. Bye bye.